So you've been hearing that an alpha brainwave state is almost as good as a theta state for putting yourself into being able to receive suggestions and being able to control your manifestation. But what does all that mean? And even better, how do you do it? Stick around and we'll talk about that. Hi, I'm Marna, and thank you for joining me. So, just what is an alpha brainwave state? I mean, it sounds like psychological gobbledygook. Your brain generally has 4 levels of being, and this is measured in the patterns of the waves that come off of your brain. Most of us, when we're awake, we're out, we're interacting with our environment, that's when we're in a beta brainwave state. The beta state is what makes us aware of what is outside of us, what our external world is involved in, and how it's affecting us. Very important for day-to-day life, right? I mean, you want to know if a car driving your way is headed directly towards you instead of staying in their lane. That's beta. The alpha state is the next step down. It's that state before you fall asleep, when you're just kind of in that drifting. When you're daydreaming, you're in your alpha state. The alpha state is a point of high creativity and high understanding of what is going on within you on a conscious level. Once you fall asleep, when you're in the dream state, that's when you're in theta brainwaves. Theta brainwaves are when you are the most susceptible to subliminal suggestions, and that's when things like affirmation tapes will have the most impact for you. And then there's the delta state, which is when you are in deep sleep, down past REM sleep, and down into the deepest levels of your subconscious. There's also a gamma state that's reached in the with experience of lots and lots and lots of meditation. But for that, we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to talk about easy manifesting. And the easiest way to get into the manifesting frame of mind is to access that alpha state of mind, where you're awake, but you're daydreaming. You're more aware of your internal self than you are the world around you. So, since we know that this is a state that is good for you to be in if you are actively manifesting, how do you get into it and how do you use it? I mean, it's one thing to know the theory behind something, but let's be practical here. We want to know what makes this stuff work, right? Getting into an alpha brainwave state is actually a lot easier than you would think. I mean, yeah, it's really easy to just daydream when you're in school and you're just kind of not paying attention to what the teacher's saying and you zone them out. And it's really easy to reach that state if you're in a really, really boring meeting at work. But we need to be able to reach that state at times that work for us, not times when we're just bored out of our skulls, literally. So to get into the alpha brainwave state, it's very simple. It takes about 3 seconds. What you do is you close your eyes, and then once you've closed your eyes, you roll your eyeballs up so you're looking at this spot right here. That's where your third eye is. So you want to be looking up at your third eye, and that will forcibly put your brain into an alpha state. Now, this works just like any other muscle in your body. The more you do it, the better you will get at it, and the more easily it will come to you. Also, when you're first doing it, it's going to feel really weird. It may even feel a little bit like you're straining your eyes. The more you do it, the more that discomfort goes away as well. Like I said, just like working out any other muscle, the more you lift weights, the less it feels weird and the less the pain goes away, right? So the more you put yourself in that alpha state and control it, the easier it's going to be and the more natural it will feel. So now you know how to get into the alpha state. What can you do with it? The answer to that is you can do anything in the alpha state. So you have to remember, when you're in your alpha state, you're really not thinking in terms of thoughts anymore. You're not having coherent thought patterns. You're not thinking of math and algebra when you're in an alpha state. You are connecting, you're forming a bridge between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And the language of your subconscious mind is the language of feelings. So now that you've created that pathway between what you want to consciously control and the subconscious mind, where all of that background thought is going on that you want to, put to work manifesting something for you, you have to speak the language the subconscious is going to recognize. So when you're in your alpha state, you need to access a feeling. And it helps if you've planned this out beforehand. Find a feeling in your memories that you wish to have in your manifestation. And this feeling could be anything. It could be sparked by anything. It really doesn't matter. It could be the feeling of, yes, I did it, when you accomplished something at work or when you got married. It could be the feeling of realizing you're in love. It could be the feeling of extreme happiness when your 6-year-old runs up to you and wraps their arms around your neck and says, I love you. The feeling is as unique as you are. So find the feeling that you wish to bring into your manifestation. Again, the thoughts that created that feeling do not matter. And the tricky part in doing this is, because you're in the alpha state, your brain's going to want to go through all of the feelings associated with that. So if you're calling up a former love to have that feeling, that new love feeling again, if you don't keep track of where you're going, you might find yourself veering off into that feeling of how it felt when they left. You don't want to go there. So you do need to maintain a sense of self-control while you're doing this. But call up that good feeling. Call up whatever it is that makes your heart warm and makes your soul dance. Whatever that feeling is that does it for you, call that feeling up. So you're in your alpha state and you have access to the feeling that you want to bring into your manifestation. The next step, picture something that will only happen after the manifestation has occurred. When I did this last night, I pictured my daughter coming up to me and saying, wow, Mom, I never thought we could have a life like this because you were doing manifestation videos. Very concise scene, very detailed. That scene in my head had sight, it had sound, it had the feeling of warmth and accomplishment. It even had smell, as I was smelling ocean air. All are components in my manifestation. So, create that little tiny scene. 2 to 5 second scene, doesn't have to be big. Make it something that will happen only after your manifestation has arrived. So you're combining going into the alpha state, pulling up that feeling that you need for that manifestation, creating a scene in which you have that feeling as a result of your manifestation. And all of these things are going to combine to program your subconscious mind with this. And put all of that subconscious brain power into creating this, because remember, your subconscious does not know the difference between what you think and what you experience. So you're telling your subconscious, I experience this. And your subconscious will create the life where you experience that. Now the next step, and again, this is one of the hardest steps in manifesting. Let it go. I just did a video on letting it go. In fact, I'm going to link it up here so you can refresh it. But let it go. Maintain that detachment. And then go to sleep. Just enjoy, relax, kick back. You've earned it. You work hard with your manifesting, and you have earned the right to enjoy what it is you manifest. So, thank you for joining me. I'm Marna, and I will see you on the next video.